Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
You never know what's going to happen when she's with us. And she is an amazing medium. She also is a card reader, tarot, oracle. I always forget. Do you do both?
Both, yeah.
You do both.
Mhm.
And so much more, and intuitive. And we're going to talk about all the things that she does and go a little bit deep in some of these, because there's always questions surrounding the work that somebody like her does. Leah DiNapoli is back with us. Welcome. How are you?
I'm well, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. I'm always, and I've been around people like you almost 30 years. I just
People like me, like, what does that mean?
Yeah, your peeps, like the people who are psychics, mediums. My journey being connected to people that do that work began, now that I'm thinking about it, like 25 years ago. Yeah, easily 25 years ago. So I'm a big believer. Yes, I'm going to put it out there. There are some that aren't legit. Unfortunately, those give people like you some, not a bad name, but just, people are a little on guard, a little skeptical. But I got to tell you, I'm skeptical too. Like, even, I'm always looking like, how is that even possible? But a lot of times there's no answer. And then when there's no answer, then that's, to me, that's legit, because I can't tell you how she did it.
Trust me, I don't even know what the answer is myself. And honestly, you want to talk about skeptical? When I would get visions or anything, even dreams that come true, which I've had a couple interesting ones this week I'd like to tell you about at some point. When I would get dreams or whatever, I am skeptical. I still want spirit to prove to me, because a lot of things I go, geez, how did that happen? Or what's that about? Where did that come from? But I've just learned to accept it. There's no answer, but it's there, and it happens, and it comes true, and it proves to me every single day. So,
wow. So do you surprise yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's times in readings where things come through and I'm just as wowed as my sitter. We both sit back and go, holy cow, like, how did that happen? I have an interesting story to tell you. This weekend, we had an early Thanksgiving at my home, because I have what family I do have left are kind of scattered across the country. So my nephew and I decided to have Thanksgiving early so everybody could fly in before the rush of the holidays and have a nice, like, Thanksgiving dinner. And my brother from California and my nephew came out, my niece, and her new husband. And my brother, who has some health issues, which are not the best, is the closest one in my family in age to myself. He's a huge skeptic, doesn't believe in anything, has asked me a million times to do a reading. Really hard to do a reading on somebody you're that close to. And they feel like anything you bring up, well, you already know, so you're really not telling the truth, right? So I actually set him up with my cousin, Laura, who is an energy healer. And I call her a soul aligner. So we have, like, our body, our mind, and our spirit, right? When we're out of whack and out of line, I think it's Abraham Hicks who talks about being in alignment, right? When we're all in alignment, everything works out. We can manifest our life. Amazing things happen. The people that we need, we bring to our world, right? All that stuff. So I call my cousin the soul aligner because she's amazing. And I had one of probably the most enlightening experiences in my life with her. And I had told my brother about this a few times, and he was skeptical. Yeah, whatever, that's just too woo-woo and weird. Long story short is, after my son had a session with her and myself and out my own, he came out here and we had a session for him yesterday. My brother is now a complete believer. He had a visitation from my mother, and he's not had to have anything. He's the biggest skeptic on the planet, I think.
What was the changing point? What actually did it?
So she does, she aligns your energy by I guess, breath with the breath. So everything that we breathe is all about your life force and source, God, whatever you want to put it in your repertoire, right? And she does this exercise for an hour with you, with your breath and meditation and everything else. It was incredible. Just to see my brother's face when I got home was pretty amazing.
Wow.
And so it's basically aligning your body, mind, and spirit into one beautiful soul that you are. And my brother was blown away, and I was so happy because he really needed it. And, I really wanted that for him. So you just got to take it for what it is and accept it. Not everything is black and white and solid. And, people are more likely to believe, oh, I saw a ghost walking down my hallway. Then, yeah, well, you're part of that too. And we're all one, we're all connected.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Do you think part of it too was that it was an impartial party that was involved in it? Yeah.
Yep. Well, I have had a few of my friends who are really good mediums as well speak with my brother, and they just couldn't get anything, but he was very closed off.
Yeah.
And that happens, unfortunately, even with me. Sometimes I'll get a client and they really want to believe, but they sit in front of me and they have their arms folded. Their body language is like, go ahead, prove it. And look, I'm not here to prove anything. I'm just here to help you heal if you're open to it. But not everyone listened to Jesus either. And he was trying to convert everybody. He couldn't explain why he knew things. And we just can't. We just want to be, just do the best for each other and love each other. And that's really what it's all about.
The skeptical thing, I totally get it and I respect it, but you're a cell phone.
I'm the messenger.
That's it. Yeah.
I call myself Lily Tomlin, one ringy dingy, two ringy dingies.
I don't remember any of that. I don't even know what you're talking about.
That is too funny. Okay, you need to look her up. So
I'm kidding. I do know. That's the thing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I want to know how old. I don't want you to know how old I am. Of course, I remember that. Yeah.
I don't want you to know how old I am either. But whatever.
Was that? Well, you wouldn't look old enough to know Lily Tomlin, and the show was Laugh-In, correct?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she was the operator with the plugs, the plug in
the old school board where the operators had to connect your call.
Yeah, I loved her.
Yeah.
And then when I get too serious with my mediumship or my intuition, and I'm sometimes you get stuck, or the person in front of you is just so closed off, I have to pull my own mind out of the equation. And I think of myself as Lily Tomlin. And I'm just like, okay, I'm the cell phone. I'm just waiting for the message. And it's, I become a nice 5G network for.
I was just going to say, I'm going to call you Leah 5G. I'm not even kidding.
Hey, that's a good name. Thank you. I'd have to have a YouTube like that.
Yeah, why not? It's because it's really what you do. You are just the messenger. I don't mean just the messenger, but that's you have the message. It's the responsibility of the receiver, the sitter, whatever, to do whatever they choose to the message. Where did my camera go?
I don't know. You just disappeared.
I know, that's weird.
You were the receiver.
I know. Well, I'm going to tell you flat out. Usually when we talk with mediums, tech stuff goes wrong. It's
all the time.
Yeah.
It's insane, isn't it? Yeah,
Very.
That was pretty funny. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you deliver messages from the other side and we talked about that. You're a medium, or would you also be a psychic medium, or more just a medium?
So from what I say, so I am a psychic medium. All mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums.
Gotcha.
If that makes any sense.
And a medium is one that truly connects with the other side. A psychic can use whatever means they have to give you information, maybe about your future and things like that. But the medium is the one that's kind of crossing over for you.
Right. Just think of a medium like in the middle, right? You're the middleman. You have 1 foot in across the veil and 1 foot here.
Right. Right. And you're just, oh, I got a piece of paper I'm getting from the other side here. I'm going to read this for you. I'm going to give it back to him, and back and forth.
Exactly. And
Gotcha.
people connect even when I think a lot of people connect when oh, there you go again. So you disconnected.
I swear I'm not touching anything.
I know you're not. This is so funny. Well, I'm telling you, the energy session we had yesterday. Oh,
what the heck is going on here?
So funny.
I might even have to switch to another camera, which I haven't done in like a year.
Awesome. The energy session we had in my living room, which is where we're at right now, was with my cousin and my brother and my nephew yesterday, after I left. And I was telling them how, when I have visitations, my lights go on and off, a lot of electricity stuff. So this is really funny because we're in the same exact spot I was in, and your camera keeps going off and on all by itself.
Weirdness.
That's awesome, isn't it?
So along with what you do on the medium side, you do card readings. And
yeah,
I feel that some people make light of them. Like, come on, how can you just pull a card? How can you get that? How can you get, information from the cards? I've seen it. I've experienced it where it is very specific, sometimes almost as specific as a message from the other side.
Well, it is as specific as a message from the other side. So again, when I'm reading cards, I'm still the intuitive and the message giver, right? So I'm using my intuition. Sometimes I don't even really know it's my intuition. It's kind of just a natural thing we all have. But I can read into the cards and read. I did a reading for you before I got on here. If you want me to share it with your listeners, it's pretty interesting. I did a really quick one, so I can do it a 5-minute one for you.
I'm totally on board.
Okay. All right.
I have a pen out in case you got to write stuff down.
Well, you can watch watch this on my YouTube channel, right? So interesting thing was, I pull the cards, and obviously you're not on with me yet, and I don't have any questions from you. So normally I have a client who has some type of genre they want to talk about. So their love life, their job, their house, their family, whatever, right? We want to know things about our life. With you, I, don't have any questions, or sometimes I get people that want to say, just give me a reading. I don't know what I want to ask. I just want a reading, right? So when I shuffle the cards for you, I think about you, and I think about your energy and pulling in your energy. And I ask my guides to help me pull cards that would infuse the cards with you, if that makes any sense, right? And then I pull the cards, and I kind of got a little story this morning. The big part of it, so I pulled the card and asked about your energy and what was going on in your life. And the first card you got was a Major Arcana card, which is all about strength. So I'm going to get into the reading a little bit. So your card is about strength, and it's all about right now you need to find your inner and your outer strength. So I want you to stand your ground with whatever's going on. It's also showing me that as you do that, you're going to have a lot of change, but you're also having a conflict within yourself and conflict within your family or closest friends. Okay. So I feel like there's a lot of change going on with you keeping your strength and being grounded. I also feel like a little bit, and I ask the cards more like, well, what's going on there? And it's telling me you're almost there. You just have to stick to your guns with what's going on, and that you're a little bloody and battered at the moment, but you're going to be okay. Because I feel like you're not only with inner conflict and things that are going on in your life, but your outer world as well. And the cards are asking me for you to just stay strong because you have that inner strength. Okay. And
do you want me to comment on that?
Yeah, unless you want me to just keep rolling, but go ahead.
You tell me.
Go ahead. Sure.
Okay.
And then I'll give you the outcome of that.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to taint the next cards. So okay. I'm going to make So I'm going to make a mental note.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back and reflect on everything you're saying.
Okay. So for me, honestly, with the cards that I've pulled, they're all about your passion, who you are, the fire that you have inside, and it's asking you to remain as strong as you can, but they're also telling me that you have this inner strength. So don't let all this stuff that's going on and all this chaos going on around you bury you, because it won't, right? You have the strength to stand up to whatever's going on. it's also showing me that towards the summer months, spring, summer, late spring, summer, you're going to have it all together. You're going to look back upon this and be like, oh, thank goodness this is over, but I had the strength to go forward. It's also showing me a lot of possibility as you go forward towards summer. And I feel like your home life and your life personally, work, everything becomes a little bit more smooth and you'll be able to settle down a lot. And interesting enough, and I don't want to get too personal with you, but it's also telling me, and this is something that I intuitively felt, I need you to be, as you're coming out of all this and things are coming down for you, I want you to look at your new part in this almost like a wonder of a child. So look at things with new eyes and with the amazement of a child, almost going forward, stepping forward as a child, everything new. Okay. And it's asking you, don't feel so lonely. And that was that.
Is that all of it?
Yeah, that's all I pulled for now, because then you came on and,
Okay. So I'm not going to say this because we're on together.
Okay.
But everything's 100%.
Oh. And that was before you even got on, right?
And I mean, I could read the text to you. It's not even, somebody asked me to do something yesterday and I didn't, because I kind of pivoted in another direction based on somebody else's wants. And I wrote, let's see. One second here. I wrote to this friend. She's very spiritual and she asked me to go do something yesterday. It's kind of holiday related. I should have done that. I regret it today. This is my words in my text at less than an hour ago.
That's when I was doing your reading.
Today begins a new start of doing what I feel. My gut said so.
There
right
you
here.
go.
So,
I believe you.
and then in terms of standing your ground, I have something coming up very, 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 very soon that I need to do just that. And I vowed to myself, it's the right thing, and that's what I'm doing, and that's
And
it.
you just got your validation for that.
Yeah. If you don't, whoever doesn't like it, well, I'm going to fight for that. That's gonna, because that's the way it should be, and that's how I believe. And it's what's right is right, and I don't mean right for an individual, right for the greater good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just right. That's the way it's, that's the way it should be. Spring, summer, I got to let you know when I get there. But I totally get what you're saying, to look at something from the eyes of a child, where it's like a clean slate, a new beginning,
Yes,
new feel to things.
even your home life. You're going to be self-reflecting, but I also feel like it feels a little bit lonely to me. Like this might be something that feels a little bit out of your comfort zone, of your normal comfort zone, right? And so you might feel like lonely. I'm using the word lonely, like, oh my God, I'm so alone, but it's more of a new thing for you. So it does feel a little bit self-reflecting and lonely, but you're never alone, and stand strong. You have a lot of strength in there.
And I totally hear what you're saying, and I understand it.
Okay, awesome.
And I could go deeper with it, but I
could too, but we're on only for a little time.
but you know what? I already have it. Like, I know, I don't mean that in like a, egotistical way. I know what you're talking about. I already see it. I already got it.
See, most of us do know, right? Most of us inside, a lot of people ask me questions, and I had a woman who said, am I supposed to stay in my, do I stay in my marriage? And I was like, well, first of all, you already have your mind made up. You don't want to. Like, I just knew it. And she looked at me like with this face on and said, how did you know? And I said, you're just asking me as a last resort, but you already know in your heart where you're at. Right. So just like you know this already. I'm just the validator, right? The cards are validating your energy and where you need to be. And if we just take some time to look within, we all have our own answers. Although I love being Lily Tomlin and I love giving messages, and I really feel like I help people heal. Like That's my passion, to help others. You know, I was a fireman for 20 years. I just cannot get over helping people. It's just who I am.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of times I should probably help myself before I help others. That I'm learning, right?
So
But
am I.
yeah, it's a long road, isn't it? But
You know what you are, and I just got this picture of it. You're the great validator because you
Mhm.
validate things from the other side.
Yeah.
So, and it's you typically you're not bringing a brand new message, although sometimes you can from the other side. It's
Mhm.
more to let somebody know that we are connected to the other side and they give you that validation for us. Like
Right.
you
Like
could,
my brother who's not so open, right? Like, here's
right.
the validation. You're right in your heart. So I mean, a long time ago, I used to go. So this is funny. My mentor, my first teacher, Rebecca, amazing medium, Rebecca Cicero, if anyone wants to know, fabulous. I love her to death. And I would go in for a reading for her with her, right, for an hour, and I'd walk out and think, I already knew all that. Like, you just told me everything I knew. Like, why did I even go? But she really was correct with the things, and it wasn't a medium session, it was a psychic medium session. So she would bring through my relatives, and that was very healing for me. But the psychic stuff and the validating stuff, she would tell me stuff about my kids. Oh yeah, they're going to do this, and like, it really brought it to the surface to me that, oh yeah, I already kind of knew that. um
Hmm.
and so it's so helpful to have someone validate, oh yeah, you don't have to stay in your marriage. But I don't tell someone that. They need to figure that out themselves. They just sometimes need the validation. And it
Yeah.
goes back to, let's be human, Steve. People want to be heard. I want to be heard. You want to be heard. Somebody talking to you on the bus going to work wants to just have somebody listen, just listen to me, help me, right? So the world
Yeah.
would be a big change if everyone just takes 10 minutes and really gives space to somebody without your phone, without something else playing, without, walking and talking to somebody. Just give them 10 minutes of your time, and you'll both heal. You'll both find things about each other that, really mean
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm. When I said validator as well, uh, you said it. I believe it that all we need is within us now. We have the answers. We
Yeah.
already know. You already know.
Yeah.
You don't need, don't go searching. It's you already know. You don't
You
want
need
to
a
face
good
it.
friend to listen. You need someone to
Well,
listen.
you need yourself to listen.
Yeah.
You already, it's there. Sometimes you don't want to accept it. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it looks too easy and you're like, I can't be, but you validate what's inside of us.
Right.
So you make it sound reasonable. Like, yeah, you know what? That's what I was thinking. And people, all you're doing is tapping into the energy and
Of yourself.
right, right.
So
All
if
you,
I can tap into your energy, I certainly should be able to tap into mine. But how many times have you spoken to somebody with wanted advice, or somebody asks you something and you're telling them exactly what to do and you have all the answers, right? And then you're thinking, oh, geez, I got to do that for myself. Like, sometimes the
hmm,
other person gives you the awareness, the mirror, right? Where the
yep,
hall
yep.
of mirrors here. They give you the awareness of, oh, right, I'm not even doing that for me. I've helped so many people, and then sometimes I sit back and go, geez, like, I need to listen to myself more, even as a medium and even as someone who's very aware consciously. I'm not, oh yeah, I got to do that too.
Hmm.
you know
Oh, absolutely. It's in a good way, you're projecting on somebody else and you're helping them and you at the same time.
Right. And that's what the spirit world does too.
Yeah.
Yep. They
Hmm.
they send me people at times that I need. I'll do a reading and we both walk out of there with tears and healing. And it's
Hmm.
something I needed to hear too. It's pretty amazing. I love it.
What we need to hear is how we find you. If we want to do a reading, even a card reading, you do that. And
Yeah.
and
So
and and you just did what, 3 cards on me? Yeah,
yeah.
it can go way deeper than that.
Oh, definitely. I love and so New Year's coming up, right? So I do New Year's spreads.
Oh
Yep.
wow. Didn't even think
And
of
you
that.
like get stuff for the whole year. which is really kind of cool,
Wow.
Yeah, so you can, well, you know what? I would appreciate if people would find my YouTube channel. It's just Medium Leah, right? And like and subscribe. I'm hoping to get like a lot of listeners. And then I want to pull a listener a month off there and give a free reading because
cool.
people do call me that just don't have the money. I'm not very expensive, even though I feel like my information from the other side is priceless. It really is. It's so healing. Then, or you can text me at 203-623-8144. I feel like a self-promoter.
One ringy
dingy, two ringy dingies. That's from laughing, right? Yeah. Or you can just go on my website. It's mediumleah.com and, text me, email me, sign up for my YouTube, reach out, and I'm happy to help. And for those that are suffering a lot and don't have money to pay, I do work with people. So don't worry, I'm not one of those. And my husband said I need to be a little bit more of a promoter. So here you go.
Well, you've been given a gift for a reason.
Yeah, I want to share it.
And so we share it. We let people know about it.
Yeah.
And that the only thing I can't figure out is you don't look old enough to know Lily Tomlin from Laughing.
Yeah. I don't want to say my age on here, but
yeah. Well, same
I'm
here.
10 years older than you.
I guarantee. But when we get off,
Zoom
I'll say,
filter. I don't know how to work technology, but I know how to put the filter on the Zoom.
Listen, every newscaster has been doing that for 25 years, if not more. They're already built into the cameras, the big expensive cameras.
I feel way better.
Leah, always great having you on. And thanks for my insight. That just validates for me the gift you have and your passion for helping people. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I look forward to more.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Same to you and same to everyone out there. Just remember, everyone needs to be grateful for something, even if it's just the air that you're breathing that day.
Yep.
You know what I know we're leaving, but I want to just say every day there's 7 billion people on this planet. How do we all have enough air to breathe? That boggles my mind.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And so be grateful that you're still breathing and you have a breath and life is there for you if you want it.
Everything you need is within you. It's there. Just got to pull it out.
We're a universe. Could you imagine how wonderful it would be if we all pulled together and did great things instead of things that aren't so great?
Just be kind to each other.
Exactly.
Right. All right. We'll talk soon. Thanks again.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.